All right, welcome back everybody. So long-awaited follow-up video on my Old Glory flagpole. I've had a lot of people that have commented on that original video, wanted a follow-up. I've had a lot of people email me asking for my follow-up. So if you've not seen that original video, I suggest you go watch it. I'll put it in the first link in the description below that you'll see. I am proud to report Old Glory did warranty the flagpole. They sent this one out to me free of charge. Didn't even charge me any shipping costs, which I think they would typically do on a warranty. They actually saw my video online and they were proud to send me out a new one. So I really appreciate them doing that. So this is the new one. This is all the pieces you get, the bottom sleeve and then the bottom to top pieces. This is a 30-foot sectional flagpole. Comes with 3x5 nylon flag, instructions, the finial, the rope, and some other hardware there. So they did tell me that my original pole, which I bought in October of 21, is kind of an older model. They've made some improvements to it. They did clarify that this older model, that the wind rating was only good up to 70 miles an hour. The newer model is the one that's good for up to 100 miles per hour. So right when I got this out of the box, I noticed some immediate changes that they've made to their design. This older one has the flares here at the bottom for all the pieces. The new one has no flares at all. They're straight cut sides on that. So they've probably had multiple issues with what I've had, because when you flare that out, you're going to thin the metal right there. So that was an immediate change that I saw they had made. In addition to that, the old one, when I installed it, up here at the top, they gave you some kind of thin, kind of rubberized tape that you would wrap around here, and you would put kind of as much as you need to make the sections fit tight together. They didn't include any of those anymore, so I'm assuming that the tolerances are going to be much tighter. I guess we will figure that out as we install it together. But you know, I'm just looking at the thickness of these. I'm going to get my micrometer out. We're going to do some measurements here just to see the difference. Visually they look the same, just looking at the bottom pieces here, but let's do some quick measurements. All right, I got my trusty Frankware Arsenal micrometer. I realize this is not the correct tool to measure the inside or the thickness of a round pipe like this, but it's going to show us the difference between the two, which is really all I'm concerned about. So here's their new design, and we'll try to get this as close as I can. All right, so it's measuring 2.08. Not saying that's the exact thickness, but it's going to, again, just kind of looking for the difference here. And on the old one, 2.13 is jumping around a little bit there. I'd say it's going to be very similar. So I think the thickness on this pipe from the new one to the old one is exactly the same. Again, really the only difference that I'm seeing is they didn't flare the ends on the new one. So, all right, well, let's get this thing together. So in the instructions, they recommend that you will need anywhere from 3 to 5 bags of 50-pound concrete to install this. Now, I remember specifically, I don't have the instructions for the old one still, but I remember specifically they had only requested 1 bag on the old one, and I actually had put 2 in, and so that's how I remember, because I wanted to exceed their specifications. So I had 2 bags that I installed in my old one, down to 24 inches. So just to ensure I'm in compliance, I actually dug down to my old footing and poured a third bag on top of it, and I left actually a little bit of material here on top. We planned to actually build kind of a raised bed here that's going to end up encasing that, so I wanted to have a little bit of meat there to put a coupler on that at some point. So I've added a third bag, so I actually have 3 bags of 60 pounds concrete in there, so I've got 180 pounds of concrete in the hole here, down to 24 inches. All right, step number 1 is just to assemble the finial top piece here. The finial is just going to thread in here. And I'll give you a nut here to install on the back side. And pretty much just hand tighten this. That's getting pretty tight. Alright. Alright, step 2 is to take your rope and get this fed through the pulley. This would be pretty hard to do when it's 30 feet up in the air, so we'll just get that mostly started here. And then we're going to secure this whole thing to the top section of the pole using this screw as well. Alright, we're just going to tighten down the set screw here. And we're ready to put this thing together. So I found from taking mine up and down multiple times, it's actually easier to put the first piece in the ground first. And then put the rest of the pole up all as one piece. It makes it just not quite as top heavy and a little bit easier to manage. So there's the bottom piece in. Let's go put the other 4 together and we'll get her up. Alright, got all the pieces laid out here, and we're just going to start slipping these together. And I'm already noticing that it's quite a bit tighter fit. So they've obviously done some machining work to improve that fit on these. Now those are quite tight, and now we're just going to get this in position. Again, without having that very bottom piece on there, despite how long this is, it's actually very manageable. Alright, just like that. And, well, I tell you what, I mean, it's definitely a lot straighter than my old one. No doubt about that. Alright, just a few other things to get on here, and we should be able to put a flag on this. Alright, one thing you want to make sure that you do is where the pulley is up there, you want that to be lined up with where your halyard's going to be, your rope tie-off, which is right here in the middle. So I'm going to make sure I rotate the pole so those line up correctly. And they do give you the screws for this. You don't want to go crazy over tightening these, but definitely want them tight. And they do give you the clips for your flag. Okay, what you want to do is go ahead and tie off the rope however you please. I'm going to do a quick knot here. And I'll end up melting that just to hold it together. And then I recommend taking that knot and taking it all the way up to the top. That way when you put your flag on and raise it up, that knot will be down at the bottom. And then put your clips at the desired height. I'm going to put the first one on here. You loop it through like this and then over like that. And let's get the flag out here. I prefer polyester flags, but mine's getting a little worn. I need to replace it, and they provided this, so we'll go with this. Go ahead and put your first one on here. You start to raise the flag. You want the flag to be kind of tight against the rope there. Because you want this next clip to hold the flag pretty tight. Against the rope. So this looseness right here is what I'm trying to get away from. So I'm actually going to make an adjustment here. And bring this clip a little farther down. That's a little better. It's a little tighter. All right, only thing left to do now is raise her up. And you can see now the knot is going to come down to the bottom. So it doesn't get in the way of the flagpole there. All right, well, mission complete there. I would say that is pretty straight. Definitely better than the old one. Yeah, you know, they got rid of those flared footings on there. They were definitely tighter putting them together. It feels like a solid fit. Of course, time will tell. Here in southwest Minnesota, we get some wind. I'll be curious to see the flex in that pole, but it looks really good. So I'm really appreciative of Old Glory and Service First standing behind their product and sending me out this new flagpole. And they were actually also very nice enough to pass along some savings to my subscribers. So I've got a coupon code for everyone and save 10% off. Enter the coupon code you see on the screen at checkout at Old Glory Flagpole or Service First. I'll link them also in the description below, and you can get 10% off your order. Thanks all very much. Hope you're having a great day. God bless America. Just as a final add-on here, Service First has a neat accessory you can add to their flagpoles of Christmas tree lights. And this can be added to all their poles, 20, 25, or 30 feet. You can add some very cool effects to it. It's $2.99 for this. $100 off, and hey, use that 10% coupon code I gave you. You can save a little more.